There's no one-size-fits-all asset, no magic stock, no perfect property, no secret coin. But if you understand what each asset actually does for your life, you can build a strategy that's smarter, stronger, and more secure. Let's talk about real estate, stocks, and Bitcoin, and why they all matter in different ways. In today's video, I'm breaking down what I call the 3 pillars of smart wealth. Why real estate is your cash flow engine and control tower, why stocks are your growth vehicle, and why Bitcoin is your insurance policy against a broken system. We'll keep it real, keep it local, and keep it simple. Whether you're buying your first home in Sacramento, looking to invest, or just trying to understand where to start. Hey, I'm Josh Lasquete, realtor, husband, data 3, and someone who cares deeply about helping families like yours stay grounded in truth while building something lasting for today and the future. So let's break it down. Let's start with real estate, because if you've been around this channel long enough, you know that's where my boots are firmly planted. Now, here in Sacramento, and especially in communities like Fair Oaks, Citrus Heights, and parts of Antelope, real estate isn't just a roof over your head. It's a financial tool. And more importantly, it's a tool that puts you in the driver's seat. Here's what I mean. Real estate gives you something that no stock or crypto can: control. You get to choose the neighborhood. You choose the upgrades, the layout, even the energy of the home. You get to physically walk the space, visualize its potential, and turn something average into something valuable with just a little vision and some sweat equity. That's a rare kind of power. And when done right, real estate creates cash flow. A rental property, that's passive income. A flip, that's active income. Your own home, that's equity building while you sleep. Now, I've seen clients build wealth by simply buying wisely in the right area and letting time do its thing. One client in Rancho Cordova bought a fixer, added some TLC over a few years, and walked away with 6 figures in equity when it was time to sell. Real estate also provides tax advantages, the ability to leverage with financing, and a hedge against inflation. It's slow, yes, but it's steady, predictable, physical, and tangible. And in today's digital everything world, sometimes owning something that you can touch means a whole lot more than watching a number on a screen go up or down. Now, let's talk about the stock market, the old school workhorse of most investment portfolios. Stocks serve a different purpose than real estate. They're not about control or tangible equity. They're about exposure to global growth. Think of it this way. If real estate is the solid foundation under your feet, stocks are the solar panels on the roof, powerful, long-term, and constantly adjusting with the world. When you invest in stocks, you're buying tiny slices of companies. Apple, Amazon, Costco, even the companies building Sacramento's newest infrastructure or supplying materials for the big Sunrise Mall redevelopment. And historically, stocks have offered strong returns over time, somewhere in the range of 7 to 10% annually, depending on your strategy. But here's the key: liquidity. Unlike real estate, you can sell a stock at a moment's notice. Need to rebalance, move things around, react to a market shift. Stocks give you flexibility. Real estate just can't. They're also ideal for retirement accounts, education savings, or mid-range goals like buying a second home or launching a business. But let's be honest, they come with volatility. One news story can swing a stock 10% in a day. You don't control the CEO, the supply chain, or the market mood. That's why I see stocks as part of a well-oiled strategy, but not the whole machine. All right, now we step into the digital frontier, Bitcoin. And I get it, for some folks, Bitcoin still feels like a Wild West gamble. But if you strip away the headlines, the hype, and the TikTok bros yelling about Lambos, what's underneath is something incredibly important. Bitcoin isn't about getting rich quick. It's about financial sovereignty, and it's about protection. Here's what sets it apart. Scarcity. Only 21 million will ever exist. No central bank can change that. Decentralization. No government owns it. No single entity controls it. No dilution. Nobody can print more. That's the whole point. Now, why does this matter? Because we live in a system where the dollar loses value every single year due to inflation, excessive government debt, and relentless money printing. Bitcoin is designed to do the opposite, to hold value, to be resistant, to be independent. It's like owning a chunk of digital real estate in a world that's quickly moving online. Except this land can't be taken, taxed the same way, or inflated out of worth. Sure, it's volatile, but it's also the first truly scarce global permissionless asset humanity has ever seen. You don't need to mortgage the house and go all in, but having even a small allocation is like fire insurance. It's not emotional, it's strategic. For clients here in Sacramento asking me how to build a portfolio that balances legacy and innovation, Bitcoin is increasingly a smart piece of the puzzle. You know, when I was younger, I thought wealth was about how much money you could save. Now I realize it's about how much freedom you can create. The ability to buy back your time, to say yes to your family more often, to live with less stress and more purpose. That's what this is really about. It's not about chasing money. It's about building a life that reflects your values: faith, family, service, stability, and freedom. I don't know about you, but I want to raise kids who understand why they invest, not just how. I want my kids to know that real estate isn't just property, it's ownership. That stocks aren't just numbers, they're participation in the global economy. And that Bitcoin isn't just a trend, it's a response to a broken system. When we understand how these tools work, we stop feeling like victims of the economy and start feeling like builders of our legacy. So let me ask you, what's your mix right now? Do you lean heavily into real estate? Only trust the stock market? Or are you still skeptical of Bitcoin? Let's talk about it in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you're here in Sacramento and want help building a plan that fits your life, your family, and your goals, I'm here. Whether you're buying your first home, selling to move up, or you're thinking about investment properties, or you're wondering if now is the right time to make a shift, let's chat. Book a free discovery call, subscribe for weekly real estate insights, and join my email list for tips that go beyond the surface. No matter where you are on your journey, I want to remind you, you don't need to know it all. You just need to take the next right step. Let's take it together. And remember, a single smile is infectious. It can spread joy and cover a mile. We'll see you next week, my friends.